What happens if you don't sleep for 3 days? Sleep is one of the most important biological functions of the human body. Every day, millions of people sacrifice sleep to study, work, play games, watch videos, or scroll through social media. While missing a few hours of sleep may seem harmless, prolonged sleep deprivation can have serious effects on both the mind and body. But what would actually happen if you stayed awake for 3 entire days? Could your body handle it? Would your brain continue functioning normally, or would something much stranger happen? In this video, we will explore what happens to the human body after 24 hours, 48 hours, and finally 72 hours without sleep. Before understanding the consequences of sleep deprivation, we first need to understand why sleep is necessary. During sleep, the brain processes information, stores memories, repairs neural connections, and removes waste products that accumulate during the day. The body also repairs tissues, regulates hormones, strengthens the immune system, and conserves energy. Without sleep, these vital processes begin to break down. Think of sleep as the maintenance period for the human body. Just as machines require downtime for repairs, the human body requires sleep to remain healthy and functional. At first, staying awake for a full day may not seem extremely difficult. Many students, workers, and travelers occasionally experience this situation. However, significant changes begin occurring inside the body. One of the earliest effects is a decrease in concentration. Tasks that normally feel easy become harder. People become more distracted and make more mistakes. Research has shown that being awake for 24 hours can impair performance similarly to alcohol intoxication. Reaction times become slower, making activities like driving much more dangerous. Sleep deprivation affects emotional regulation. People often become more irritable, impatient, and emotionally sensitive. Small problems may feel much larger than they actually are. The brain struggles to create and store new memories. Learning new information becomes significantly more difficult. This is why pulling an all-night study session often produces worse results than getting a proper night's sleep. After 24 hours, many people experience heavy eyelids, frequent yawning, reduced energy, difficulty focusing, and mild headaches. Although these symptoms may seem manageable, the situation becomes much more serious as wakefulness continues. After 2 full days without sleep, the body enters a much more stressful state. The body begins releasing higher levels of stress hormones, such as cortisol. This can cause increased anxiety, elevated heart rate, and greater emotional instability. The immune system starts functioning less effectively. The body's ability to fight infections decreases, making illness more likely. The frontal lobe of the brain, responsible for planning and decision-making, becomes significantly impaired. People may take unnecessary risks, make poor judgments, forget important details, and struggle with problem-solving. One of the most fascinating effects of severe sleep deprivation is the appearance of microsleeps. Microsleeps are brief episodes where the brain essentially falls asleep for a few seconds, even while the person appears awake. A person may suddenly stop responding, lose focus, or stare blankly without realizing what happened. These episodes can be extremely dangerous, especially while driving or operating machinery. By this stage, emotions become difficult to control. People may experience sudden anger, unexplained sadness, anxiety, and mood swings. Many individuals report feeling disconnected from reality. After 3 days without sleep, the effects become severe and sometimes frightening. The brain is now struggling to perform basic functions. One of the most famous effects of prolonged sleep deprivation is hallucination. A hallucination occurs when a person sees, hears, or feels things that are not actually present. People may see moving shadows, hear sounds that do not exist, misinterpret ordinary objects, and experience visual distortions. The longer the sleep deprivation continues, the more intense these hallucinations can become. At this stage, many people become confused about time and place. Simple tasks become difficult. A person may forget conversations that occurred minutes earlier or struggle to understand basic instructions. The brain begins conserving energy by reducing activity in certain regions. This causes poor memory, difficulty speaking clearly, slower thinking, and reduced awareness. Complex reasoning becomes extremely difficult. The desire to sleep becomes overwhelming. The body is essentially demanding recovery. Many people report feeling physically exhausted while simultaneously struggling to think clearly. The combination of slow reaction times, confusion, and microsleeps dramatically increases accident risk. This is why extreme sleep deprivation is considered a major safety hazard. Modern brain imaging has revealed remarkable changes during sleep deprivation. The brain consumes a significant amount of energy throughout the day. Without sleep, neurons become less efficient at communicating with one another. Certain brain regions show reduced activity while others become overworked. Communication between different parts of the brain becomes less coordinated. This leads to problems with attention, memory, decision-making, and emotional control. Researchers have even observed temporary changes in perception and cognitive processing after extended wakefulness. Sleep deprivation does not only affect the brain. The cardiovascular system also experiences stress. Lack of sleep can lead to elevated blood pressure, increased heart rate, and greater inflammation. Over long periods, chronic sleep deprivation has been associated with an increased risk of heart disease. Although 3 days without sleep may not permanently damage the heart in a healthy individual, it places significant strain on the cardiovascular system. Sleep plays an important role in regulating metabolism. When sleep is restricted, hunger hormones increase, appetite rises, and cravings for unhealthy foods become stronger. The body begins struggling to regulate blood sugar effectively. This is one reason why chronic sleep deprivation is associated with weight gain and metabolic disorders. Sleep and mental health are deeply connected. Even short-term sleep deprivation can cause anxiety, irritability, and emotional instability. Extended sleep deprivation can produce symptoms resembling psychiatric disorders. Hallucinations, paranoia, and severe confusion may occur. Fortunately, these symptoms often improve once adequate sleep is restored. One of the most well-known examples involved a teenager named Randy Gardner in 1964. He remained awake for approximately 11 days as part of a science project. As the experiment progressed, he experienced memory problems, mood changes, difficulty concentrating, and hallucinations. Despite the severe symptoms, he eventually recovered after sleeping. His case demonstrated just how dramatically sleep deprivation affects human performance. Direct death from short-term sleep deprivation is extremely rare. However, prolonged sleep deprivation can become life-threatening due to accidents, impaired judgment, and severe physiological stress. The good news is that the body can recover from short-term sleep deprivation. After finally sleeping, many functions begin improving. People often require several nights of quality sleep to fully restore attention, memory, mood, and energy levels. Trying to compensate with caffeine alone is not enough. Only sleep can fully reverse the effects of severe sleep deprivation. So, what happens if you don't sleep for 3 days? After 24 hours, concentration and reaction time begin to decline. After 48 hours, decision-making worsens, emotions become unstable, and microsleeps appear. By 72 hours, hallucinations, confusion, severe fatigue, and major cognitive impairment can occur. Sleep is not a luxury. It is a biological necessity that allows the brain and body to repair, recover, and function properly. The next time you're tempted to stay awake all night, remember that sleep is one of the most powerful tools for maintaining your health, memory, productivity, and overall well-being. Because when you stop sleeping, your body never stops keeping score.